MacNeil, author of the Wine Bible, and this is the back label. Through the entire history of winemaking, the only way to try and tell, say, Chardonnay from Syrah was by ampelography, the science of identifying vines by measuring and observing their shoots, canes, leaves, buds, seeds, clusters, and grapes. Not surprisingly, farmers and nurseries sometimes got it wrong. I remember a few years ago when the Sonoma winery in Matanzas Creek had to actually go into the white wine business because the Merlot they thought they had planted turned out a few years later to be Sauvignon Blanc. Since the early 1990s, however, grapevine identification has had rather more in common with an FBI laboratory. Just as DNA from a crime scene can be compared to the DNA of a victim, so the DNA of a grape variety being researched can be compared to the DNA of known varieties. In groundbreaking research in 1997, such DNA typing, as it's known, was used for the first time to reveal the parentage of grapes. According to the top genetic researcher on grapevines, Dr. Jose Ruy Lamoz, a small number of grape varieties have given birth to all the varieties in the world today. The most important of these founder varieties were Pinot Noir, Gouais Blanc, and Sauvignon, also known as Traminer. Pinot Noir and Gouais Blanc alone have had many romantic moments in nature, resulting in more than 20 different varieties over time, including Chardonnay and Gamay. Gouais Blanc, in fact, is a real Casanova, having crossed with scores of varieties, resulting in the creation of more than 80 different varieties, including Riesling, Blaufränkisch, and Muscadel, to name three we know. The idea that all of the important grape varieties, red and white, can be traced back to a mere handful of ancestor varieties and a few domestication sites is amazingly new. And finally, the original ancestor varieties were probably all red. It's thought that the first white variety was a mutation that occurred when pieces of DNA moved within the gene, interrupting the coding for anthocyanins. Those are the molecules that create color. In early wine-drinking civilizations, the rarity of white wines may have given them social value and led to the perception that white wines were more refined than reds and therefore more desirable as upper-class drinks. So there you go, Chassagne Montrachet. Are you curious about the parentage of a particular grape? If so, leave me a comment.